Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Was. This is part 3 of Chinese words which are used to express them from the letter positions, meanings, and they are compared to English, or how we approach letters and so on, and it will give you an idea of what the letters mean, the letter combinations mean, and also give you an idea how the Chinese script works and how the sounds have also an underlying meaning, just like in the Western languages. It's just the same way. And my theory is of course based upon the positions of letters in time and space. They all have a very exact position, and of course in this case we are talking about the letters BU. So where is BU? BU is, you have already A here. A is the foundation, the very foundation in which we try to estimate our starting point. U is a starting point which is actually divided. So we have a starting point, a starting center that you say maybe there are other centers. So we start a little bit off. We have a different approach. We start from a different approach. The B is in the same way. It is also off in the way that let's see how far I can go with my thinking with the B. It is also stretched a little bit. It's stretched to its borders because it also has variations. So I could stretch my vision from there. So you have here, for instance, the starting point of A and the limit of K, the limit in its diagonal, which are now split into U and B. So the normal way of thinking is starting from a center point with a certain limit. Here it is, it's getting a variation. It is so I will use, of course, with B a distinction, and I will also start with a different distinction because I will have more possibilities, maybe even because I moved away from my own center. So it could mean that I will go towards different possibilities. But here it starts with B. So I start with the opening the range of my limits, which I will have to use as a distinction to see what is different, because it's not from my center, so I have to look at something which is different, and this U will also be different because it's not my starting point, it's a different starting point. So it is a distinction of what is different, and in a way it's also different from what I know, so it is also actually more like what I don't know. So I'm going to follow and try to make a distinction in what I don't know. That's the starting point of BU a little bit. If I would really follow that as a rhythm, we know already that with U it will follow a different rhythm, or it will follow something we don't know, or we follow something extra. I had already some examples with BU before in another video, and I also explained BUCH there. Now, if you start from the distinction between things that are different from the same starting point, and with in the middle of the variations that you get, I could easily understand how BUCH was this B form, which with the variations like of the pages, and the pages that are all different and different approaches that you can choose from in that way. That's what I already understood from the form that you can get from it. The form is that the forms that you also get from certain positions is important to understand. See if there are variations that are breaking open. The limits, as you see there, they are the variations. It also gets you to certain forms, and these forms are of course important to describe certain objects that are having an expression of the words that are using these letters. With BUCH you have of course two or more variations from a center point of view. You have at least two center points that are breaking open. And that's how you can get, if you have with the variations of it, you can have something that is very similar to the open book. Buch is the German word for book, which also is about a range of space with H and an orientation in which you try to find your way, and with the U changing from one position to the next. That's how you go through the book. That have different positions, and you can go from one position to the associations can be derived from it in that way. Actually can be understood from there. But the basics actually for our understanding is that so the letters like U or B are variations of our starting point, which our starting point of A was an estimation, and U is a doubtful variation, which we follow up. B is again a doubt. Yeah, it is also doubtful, of course. It was a doubtful range, so it will, and then in the order of B to U, it is like a following up of whatever changes it will get you. With the U, you will have more variations. You will create more and more variations from there. But it also starts from trying to estimate these kinds of variations of things that you don't know yet. So you have to get to know what is there. It's doubtful, and we follow what we don't know yet in order to make things complete in the end, to fill it in so that we can become complete. Let's say U is incomplete. We follow something we don't know yet. It's like in a conversation. When we follow U, we follow something we don't know yet fully, and we try to fill it in after a while. When we compare it to the Chinese word, of course, now we have a physical object. The physical object of the book, of course, as the as well of this, it's filled in a space in which a content is filled in. So that is a bit a larger word. But the BU on its own is that area of estimation in which we follow actually the things that we don't know. Our attention goes to the things we don't know yet, and we try to follow up because B is breaking open. It's trying to get larger at the borders, and with the U we try to fill it in. BU is going to try to fill it in with things we don't know. So how can we compare it to this Chinese word? We first go to the foundation of the Chinese script, which has not a foundation in space like in the Roman script, but all the foundations are in the time frame, and there they will find context, and the context will add also, thanks to the context, we will also have the correct understandings. So the basics of the full range of scope, what we understand, are the same, but the order of the letters, the focus is mainly on that second part. And if we compare it, the vowels, where the vowels are as basic orientations, the A is our starting point to put something into action. And if we put that into the 4 seasons, in the middle you have this square with the 4 seasons. The A is our activity that we start, mostly in late summer or in harvest. We start our actions, our activity, which we hope to transfer at some point so that it can have changes that are beneficial to us. And we learn, of course, things in its way. When it's successful, it gets you to the spring, and the spring where we change things. The change is the transformation, the changes which appears at that point. The U are at that point I show you there are in winter. A lot of letters in the a lot of words with the letter U in it will be expressed in the Eastern languages with the letter U, and also in these positions. You will notice that in some examples that I will give you as well. So U is the incomplete part, which are not transformed yet. It's the winter part which are not transferred, and we have to do something with. So everything where it is the letter U, for us it's an open book, let's say. So we have we can get to know it. If it's incomplete, we don't care. If we have imbalance in nature or in whatever, we don't care. That's our language is based upon that kind of freedom, random freedom, which allows corruption and all these things. The Eastern languages have foundations which does not allow corruption. They only allow balance. So the letter U is the incomplete picture all the time. It's always incomplete, and it is that kind of focus. For us it's the same thing. U is incomplete, but we will try to make it complete, and if it's incomplete, we still don't care, but the nature itself is the same. Here, U in at Eastern associations of words will always be the focus on. Now that's the unknown part, that's the not known part, that's what you didn't succeed to transform yet. That's your attention. Attention for us is the same. It's incomplete. We still have to make it more complete. But here this attention is very clear, and this message is also very clear. It's only at that region, and it can't continue further yet. So normally everything is due to transformation, and all the letters will go through a activity and transformation and get the new ideas out, the transformations out in spring. The letter, the symbol, let's say then, of BU, you can see it, has this idea at the top, this idea that we will have the intention to get an activity with it, have that foundation also there, but it's broken. As you can see, it's broken into the B part, or 2 possibilities, of which U is the open part, with all the things that still needs to be made, and it needs to be completed at this moment. It's absolutely sure we don't have it. So at that point of gravity in every transformation process, when it comes to proceed, and all the transformations will begin, and where you need to commit to allow this process with all its confrontations and its willingness also to start such a process, here it is limited by the understanding that I want to break out and make something larger, but I don't have the means yet. It's U. The U as the winter part is dominating, and the transformation process has all its gravity is in that point where you can't do anything yet. That's the no part is dominating. You can't. BOE is as much as saying I can't for this moment. I want to break open, but I can't. I see the incompleteness. That's the situation I have now. That's the BOE. We also have in boo is something that we say in Dutch as well when we shout out someone, or when we say, oh, it's not worthy, boo boo. It's a malcontentness as well, that we say, like it is not successful, boo 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 boo. So if you think it's not successful, boo boo boo. Here it is. The BOE, it's that doubtful place, which is actually the same thing as in the frame of the Western thinking. It's also doubtful. You still have to fill it in. In the word BUCH, it was positive. You say, okay, I have something to fill in, and I go further, and I have all ways to fill it in. I can fill in the book, or I can read the book. It can get me further, and so on. It's not even negative in that way. Here it is a realization. Things are not negative or positive at all at no times, but it is, the emphasis is there. It's not filled in yet. We still have to do a lot. So I hope this video was also helpful to make you understand not just the letter combinations meanings as seen from the theory that I'm explaining in all these videos. Get also yourself closer to our language and to English and to also to German, but also, like, yeah, maybe the approach from the Eastern division, from how they have a balance, and they have, even for me, it's a whole philosophy behind each invented script letter. I will just call it letters. Sign, yeah. There's a whole way of thinking behind it that is quite interesting, and I hope this will also provide you a match to find that angle to make this appear to you, how this really is indeed interconnected in that language and in this script, and how we as people are interconnected, because there are common goods in it, the ways to understand these things from similar comparable points of view. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This was Gerald van Was. There's a website too. There's some books as well, if you like. The books about scripts, and also about with some ideas about Chinese and Japanese scripts, are to be found in the application of the word, which is one of the parts of sound in form. Thanks again. Bye.